Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to take a look at the newest collab to Monster Strike. It's actually started right away, as expected. Hopefully you saw the Monster Freak event. If you haven't, the archive is still there for you to watch. It's just hours of news to go through, but B0 did start at midnight that night, and I had no energy to keep going. So this is a few days late. I apologize if you are hoping for something right away, but I was tired, so that's enough. But it is here now, so if you are wondering about how some of these things work, there's actually a bunch of new situations here with the collab. So I'm sorry it's a little late, but hopefully your questions can be answered here. And of course, if not, comment and we can keep going. Of course, let's go over the gacha monsters that will be coming with this collab. You see on the banner there, actually we can go on to the banner in game as well. We see Emilia, Rem, and Ram. I guess the three in the front are going to be your 6-star monsters, and we have Beatrice and Krush and Ferris as the 4 5-star monsters, which you can find in the back corners. Now, of course, what do these characters bring to the Monster Strike world? Let's take a look real quick. So we'll take a look at Emilia first. She is in the center there, and oh no, the mask is showing. Let's get rid of that. In the center position there, but she is currently ranked as an 8. Ranked as an 8.0 monster on GameWith. It is still in the Kakko Kari, the temporary period. So just want to see how she functions before they give a final say on her ranking. But 8 is not bad, but also not broken. So I wouldn't break the bank for her, but she has an interesting set here. Super null damage wall, super null wind, super laser stop on the main, null speed down wall, status effect inner strength on the gauge. Strike shot is an 18+4 speed power up and a follow up attack. And let's actually go into that detail real quick. The strike shot has a follow up that hits all enemies on the screen, then a singular follow up attack to the boss with a minimum damage threshold. In addition to that, there is a guaranteed 2-turn delay. Now, of course, the parameters for the attacks change based on your strike shot turn. If you do it on the first run, so 18 turns, you'll get a 1.2 times attack boost in general. And then the follow-up attack that attacks everybody is 16 hits, which is your attack at 60%. And the follow-up attack is a 20 times massive boom on the boss, guaranteed to hit the boss, by the way. And it has a minimum guarantee of 1 million damage. If you go to the second gear, which is another 4 turns, that's a 1.25 times attack bonus for your character, and the follow-up for all enemies goes up to a 0.9 times your attack for 16 hits, and the follow-up goes up to a 24 times your attack with a minimum guarantee of 1.2 million damage. So, an interesting strike shot for sure. I mean, the effects are pretty nice too. If you haven't watched it already, make sure you go check out the official video from X-Flag to see her in action there. But her bump combo, it is a cross-clone bullet, so you can get multiple copies. I think it's 4 of her running around. And a super defense down blast. So yeah, that is Emilia. Rem here, Minesweeper L, super null speed down wall, bump combo boost, gauge multiplier retainment. Again, that's even if you miss the gauge, you'll get max damage, max attack bonus out of your turn. Gauge is unsurprisingly null block and status effect recovery. Strike shot is a 16+8 that gives you a speed power up and does the following. This strike shot is kind of complex. You probably want to watch it to see it in action. But she basically has 4 stages with her, I don't know, whatever weapon she has there. But first is an initial hit, which does damage. And then she'll do a series of attacks, which is considered to be direct damage. Now, remember, there are cases where, depending on the type of damage, like if you hit a monster directly versus, indirectly with like bump combo, they actually do different damage to the bosses in certain situations. So it could make a difference. So step 2 is a series of 30 hits, that's direct damage. And then next is a series of 25 hits, which is just follow-up damage. And then finally there's a percent damage attack with a minimum guarantee. So for the first gauge at 16 turns, you get a 1.35 times attack bonus for your for Rem here, and then she'll do a single hit that does 3 times her attack, and then 84% her attack times 30 hits, and then 15% of her attack for 25 hits, and then finally a 15% gravity attack, which will take out 15% of the max HP, I believe. Actually, let's double check the wording. I'm pretty sure it says side eye HP though. Oh no, must have gotten from game with. But 15% with a minimum guarantee of 1.5 million damage. Gear 2, that bonus goes up to 1.6 times, and the first hit goes up to 4 times. The direct damage series goes to 1.12 times her attack for 30 hits. The follow-up does 0.2 times the attack at 25 hits, and followed by a 20% HP gravity attack. Minimum 2 million damage guaranteed. Interesting. Super Yo-Yo and Bound Bomb. I mean, the Bound Bomb is always nice, but I mean, both of them are very luck-based, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, Yo-Yo just in general is kind of, yeah, you know. All right, next we've got Ram, and Ram is, Rem has an 8.5 on Game With right now, and Ram has an 8.0. Her kit here: null gravity barrier, null damage wall, null magic circle, null element resist on the main, super null damage, super null speed down wall, and soul steal on the gauge. Strike shot is a 12 plus 12, and this is an interesting one where she does a series of hits, but each hit does percentage damage, which also has a minimum threshold. So very interesting. Strike shot first gear is 1.15 times her attack bonus, and each hit does 3.3% of the enemy's max HP, minimum 330,000 damage, and it does that 5 times. For the second gear, it basically multiplies the bonus by 2. The attack goes from 1.15 to 1.30, and each hit does 6.6% of the max HP, minimum 660k, but it still only does 5 hits. So very interesting set for her strike shot here. Bump combo is an all enemy lock on shockwave 3 with a bump combo speed up bonus. So yeah, I mean, again, since we see the 8 and the 8.5 ratings, it means, you know, you probably don't need to break the bank for these characters unless something comes up in the next few days. They seem to be like solid gets, but nothing that are necessary or is going to change the meta anymore. I don't think we've had any like broken collab monsters in a while. So shame to see, but also maybe a relief that you don't, you know, there's no FOMO by not getting that character. Now let's take a look at the 4 5-star monsters. Beatrice here does have a 7.5, which is the top tier 4 5-star monsters. So she is a solid one, and you can check out her set. It's pretty insane here. We've got Super Minesweeper M with a bump combo boost, and on the gauge we have null speed down wall along with Strike Shot Charge M. Strike Shot is an 18-turn speed power up that does follow-up damage to all enemies after done moving, and it's just like this kind of attack on everybody on screen. Massive damage, pretty cool to see for sure. Absolutely make sure you get one of her if you don't intend to do much gotchaing for this. Having one in your pocket will be solid. Bump combo is a Chozetsu level Pierce Spread EL3 in the dark element. So Pierce Blast, you know, definitely, you know, a 4 5-star collab monster. Very nicely set. We also have oops, I did not update the name, which is embarrassing, but this is not Beatrice, but it is Krush and Ferris, and she has a 7.0 rating on Game With right now. Her abilities is null damage wall, null super null wind, super speed down wall, and recovery M on the gauge. Those last two on the gauge, sorry. Strike Shot is a 14-turn, and this one's an interesting, yeah, you probably want to check the video to really make sure you understand it, but speed and power up, of course, and every time you hit a new enemy, she will do a follow-up attack on all previously hit enemies, and then when she's done moving, she'll do one last follow-up on everybody she hit so far. So, you know, that first enemy hit, and if you are able to hit a lot more along the way, there's enough enemies to take advantage of it. you probably do a lot of damage, which was pretty cool to see. Bomb combo is also the very strong triangle bomb. It is a 7.0, again, on Game With. Now, also important with the gacha is that every 10 pull will give you an EX reward. Let's see, I'm not going to pull right now, but you can see, is it here? Yeah. You will be able to get one of 9 stickers, good job stickers. Unfortunately, that does mean you have to do 9 temples if you want all of these characters. Especially if there's one you specifically want, you will, you may be in a little pain there. However, the good news is once you have gotten enough of these, you've gotten all 9 stickers, they convert into items, and this time the 9 items actually does include that new dice item, where you could get potentially 10 copies of the boss if luck is on your side. Also, don't forget that single pulls will not contribute to getting a good job sticker. You need to do a 10 pull to get that EX reward. Now, let's take a look at the schedule real quick. I'm sure most of you have already gotten underway to completing them, but the 24/7 4 5-star quests are going to be Melee and Wilhelm. They are available all the time, every day, until the collab ends, but of course they are 4 5-star monsters, so remember they get capped at 75 luck, which turns into 90. The direct drop quest you can see there is going to be Petaljuice. Again, direct drop quest, you can tell by the icon next to their name, or next to that boss icon. There is no treasure chest on the egg. It is just a bare egg there, and that's your sign that you do not need to bring max luck, because chests will not drop this monster. You will get 3 drops, you will get 7 drops every time you clear it for the first time in a particular day. Again, make sure you do that. There's no need to, you don't want to wait until the last minute to farm. It is going to be a pain, because you can get only at most 3 drops at the end of the boss stage. Of course, you need to do co-op to make sure you can get 2 or 3 copies, whereas I believe if you solo, you're only going to get 1. Maybe you'll have a chance for more, but it's pretty abysmal if so. We also have the scheduled quests. We can see that Elsa and Garfield are the 2 monsters that you can farm. Make sure you use the schedule feature in game to see when they're coming up next, and make sure you don't forget about them, or wait until Monster Strike Day when you get the bonus. There is a new Guardian Beast available with this collab, and it's going to be Puck. Very familiar name if you were watching Monster Strike News. You just need to go into the first bubble on the left and click this mossy area here so that you can run some of Puck's quest here. Now, Puck, his ability is interesting. He does have the following, where it reduces all enemies' HP by X, and there is a Y% chance to delay all those enemies by 1 turn. You can see the chart there. It starts out with a paltry 50k damage to everybody and 10% chance you delay by 1 turn. But if you can get it all the way up to level 10, you can get a nice 500,000 static damage and a 99% chance that you delay the monsters by 1 turn. Now, of course, if you hit that 1%, it's going to be sad, but for the most part, you should be okay. And the requirements is quite easy. All you have to do is defeat 2 enemies in a single turn 5 times before you are eligible to use Puck here. Alright, you may have noticed that you got some copies of this guy here, Natsuki Subaru, and he has an interesting trait in this collab because he has 5 different evolution forms available. I'm not sure any other monster in this game has that wide of a screen. You can see there's 5 different elements for him, and how you collect him is by playing this very interesting concentration game that you can see on the home page. Click that to enter the new menu, and you can play along here. Now you can see I'm a little bit in progress here, but we can talk about how it works. Basically, what you need to do is each card is associated with a mission. If you want to flip the card, you need to clear said mission. However, and this is a very big however, you can only flip 2 cards each day. Caveat, if it's Monster Strike Day, so that's the 10th or the 20th, you can flip 4 cards that day. Now, of course, just like concentration, if you match the cards, congrats, you won that round, and then you can unlock the Evo form that is locked behind that particular character. However, this is important. You see that red timer counting down. This is a 24-hour clock that gets reset at midnight Japan time. Again, keep that in mind. It is a countdown, so you don't have to translate times, but make sure you understand what is midnight Japan time for you, because that's when resets happen. And what happens on a reset is all missions that you have cleared gets reset, and any unpaired cards are flipped face down again. Right now it's like, oh my god, do I have to do missions over and over again? Yes, you will have to do it again if you do more than you need to, right? Like, you're only going to be able to flip 2 or 4 if it's Monster Strike Day per day, so you only need to complete 2. So figure out the 2 that you want to do. Now, this is very important, and you can see it in action here, that any cards that you have flipped on previous days will be transparent going forward. So there is no need to memorize what you had. You can see that 2 and 4, I have a pair ready to go. Now they're on the easier side, so I'm happy to wait until next time. So let's just see it in action. Let's do 8. 8 is an annoying one, right? Like, it was the impossible quest where you had to bring, well, it's not annoying, but relatively difficult, let's say that. You have to bring a collab character to clear an impossible stage. Chose it. Right, so I've cleared it. So if I want to flip it over, I'll hit this purple button on the right to say flip. It'll say, do you want to? Left is yes. And it'll flip that card. So you'll see which character was behind it. Now, you can see that I don't have any of that. So it's like, oh, okay, great. I'm going to have to go searching for that. Now, I'm obviously not going to flip 5. I cleared it, but you can see that I flipped that, on day 1. And I think that's Otto, the green guy, right? So, yeah. But make sure you don't forget, because this is not something that you can rush at the end. If you wait until the end, you will run out of time, right? At minimum, you need, assuming no Monster Strike days, right? But you need 5 days to finish this, right? You would have to be perfect on 5 days. But also keep in mind that, once you have flipped 5 different cards, from that point that you only need 5 more days to finish as well. So be very careful. Make sure you are diligent about this and don't delay, because after a point, you will not have enough days to finish, right? So be careful, please. Now, here are the missions. The missions are available on Twitter. Actually, did I put this in Twitter? Maybe not. I'll have to double check if I did. But it is available in the Discord channel. So if you haven't checked it out there already, make sure you see it there. But they are pretty simple. The left side is just clearing some, relatively simple stages. I guess if you're new, it might be a little difficult for Puck's Chosetsu Impossible stage. But the right side are relatively more difficult, right? The second row. For the green quest, you need to continue clear with 3 or more 5-star monsters in your team. Number 7, you have to continue clear with at least at most one null damage wall monster in Elsa's quest. 8, you need to clear an impossible quest with at least a collab monster in your team. 9th one is to clear any collab quest with 3 copies of Natsuki Subaru, which could be any form, in your team. Probably one of those 4 or 5-star quests is fine. And the last one is to clear the Insidious quest, which we will go over, I think, in a second. Right? I don't think... Yeah, it's coming up later. But obviously, I wait until you can make sure you guarantee a pair for number 10 before you flip it over. I assume that's going to be the hardest one. You don't want to have to clear that multiple times to get that pair, right? Have everything revealed beforehand. Also additional rules. Every time you clear a quest, clear a mission card, you will get a reward. You can see these rewards here. Every time you can see that you get that Natsuki card from him. If you clear all 10 at least once, you will be able to get some titles which is nice. You can see, most importantly, the 7th clear gets you a Tokudama as well. But again, you have to clear unique cards. You can't clear the same one over and over again to get the rewards. Let me just reiterate, right? There's never a reason to clear more missions than cards you can flip over for the day because it gets reset at midnight. Right? If I don't do anything right now, that number 5 quest will be wiped out, and I will have to clear it again tomorrow if I want to flip that card, right? So don't go in there and clear all 10 right away. That's dumb. You are not going to get credit for your efforts, and you will have to just do it again the next day when you decide you want to flip a card. All right? And also, consider flipping the easier missions first so that you can avoid having to redo the harder missions if you miss a pair, right? Like right now, that 8, if I end up missing that today, right, I don't find her pair, then tomorrow I'm going to have to do, or whenever I decide I want to connect her pair, that I have to do it one more time. I have to do another impossible quest with a collab monster in it. So, let me know if you have any questions on this. I know this was confusing to a few people, but there you go. Now, as we're talking about, there is a Chokyu Kyoku Insidious quest. It is going to feature these really creepy looking rabbits with red eyes. I'm sure it means something in the anime, but there's nothing special about this quest. It doesn't unlock anything. It doesn't drop anything. All it does is allow you to clear mission card 10 on the concentration game. Now, let's go over this white whale hunting raid. You might have noticed that there is a new icon here, and this is specific for the collab. And basically how this works is when you clear any of the quests in the event menu, in the library menu, in the guardian beast area, or you're farming materials, there's a chance when you clear that a white whale will invade. And this is a raid style quest where that boss has an insane amount of HP. It's not something you clear in one run, but you could clear in multiple runs and also get the help of other people as well. And so let's actually go into that menu. I actually got one last night, so you can see how that progress looks. And you can see that red gauge is an HP bar, and you have to get it to 0 to be able to get your rewards. And what are the rewards, you ask? Well, these quests feature these white whale coins. And again, if you want to maximize your drop, these are very easy quests, so do not worry about what max luck is. It's basically a blind flick quest that you can play without much thinking at all. But these coins can be used to be exchanged for monsters and other in-game items, which we will talk about in a little bit. But you can see, right, I've already shown you where you can find it, but you can see that on top that this area has its own separate stamina system. They are represented by the swords there, and you can see how much time it takes to replenish one. Maximum 5, and a single sword replenishes after every 2 hours, right? So you can't just like spam this area. You're gonna need help to clear this, and you're gonna want help because we'll go over the rewards a little bit later. But the cool thing is that you only spend that sword if you actually successfully clear the quest. Now, let's be honest, you're going to have to try very hard to fail these quests because it is pretty simple. Now, of course, I mean, I guess I should be nicer. If you're just starting, sure, it could be a little bit challenging, but this is absolutely an easy quest that you should not have any trouble with. Now, once you encounter a whale, you will have 48 hours to defeat it. You can see the timer there in the red button on top. I have 31 hours left before it expires. Looks like I'm pretty close. Some rando people have probably been helping while I was at work today, right? So that's cool. Now, of course, how this works is when you want to take on a quest, whether you're hosting it yourself by clicking the red button, or you're helping a friend by clicking one of those purple buttons, you can see all it takes is one sword to play. You'll do that, and then you will complete the quest. At the end, you will be given a random number. Like it literally said it's random, and that's how much damage you performed on the whale. depending on the damage you've done, the rewards are given. And you can see in the text, might be a little hard to read, but it'll say like big damage. You know, if you see the character for dai, you can also see toku dai, and you say you did super amount of damage, and you'll actually get more coins as a reward depending on those results. Again, it is completely random, so there's nothing you can do to improve it. However, if you bring max luck, like I said, you get more chests, so you can get more of those white whale coins. Oh, looks like I lost connection to my phone. Give me 1 second. Okay, it's back. Where were we? So yeah, once you hit 0, you will able to get rewards. And what are those rewards you say? Well, I mean, it's just more coins. But the other thing to, before we go into the rewards, is that, like I said, you can help other people to take down their raid boss by searching the entries on the left tab. By default, they're sorted by HP left. Obviously, better chance to succeed on those. And if you happen to participate in one of your friends' runs, you will see a little tag. Does not look like I have. Well, yeah, I was at work, so obviously not. But you can see on the image there on the screen that there will be a red tag saying, "Hey, you helped out here." Now you can see the results of your previous runs by going to the tab on the right here, and if you actually had any active rewards waiting for you, there will be, this gold orange button would be active. There'll be another button here that's like select all. You can see on the screen, on the image, or if you just want to take it individually, you can grab it there. Now, there are actually bonuses that you can get based on your participation. So if you were the one to find the whale in the first place, you will be able to get a bonus reward that way. If you ended up being the one who dealt the most damage to that whale, you'll get some bonuses there. And if you're the one to actually kill the whale, final blow on that whale, you'll also get a bonus from that. Now here you can see the rewards for defeating a whale. Actually, I can show it in here too. But for the 1st through 30th whale that you end up defeating, you will be getting 3,000 coins. From the 31st whale and beyond, you will get 5,000 coins apiece. Now, along the way, you'll be able to get some items. For example, what's coming up for me, the 5th kill on a whale will get me just a tokudama to pull at, which is cool. But other big things, you got a eruberbal at 7, biscuit at 13, you get a title at 20, and if you do it 30 times, then you can get a badge that goes next to your co-op name when you play. And also other bonuses that you can get is your discovery bonuses. So if you are the one that finds the whale, right, like you will automatically get a reward if you defeat it, right? You can't just let it expire, you have to actually defeat it. But for the 1st through 5th discoveries, you'll get 3,000 coins. Also, if it's the 3rd and 5th time you clear it, you'll get an orb on top of that. But after the 6th discovery, you'll also get 5,000 coins a piece, which is cool. The rewards of getting the MVP and last hit bonuses is another 5,000 coins, and you can exchange those coins in the store. Now, before we go to the store, there is something to note that there are some items that are locked behind your results of your whale hunting. You can see that the badge and the Waku Waku stick does not get unlocked unless you find and take down 3 whales. And what's most important is this item here, this shard, right? 10 shards are available for exchange. You cannot pick up those or the super type scroll, unless you yourself was able to find 5 whales. Again, you have to take them down as well, so make sure you do some damage on your side so that people are actually interested in helping out. And you're going to want to make sure you have friends as well to help you out. And you can also exchange these in the store. Let's take a look at the store real quick. Again, you can find them in this page here on the top right. You can see that we've got Ricardo here in the fire element, and we've got Mimi, Heitaro, and Tibi in the yellow light element, available for exchange just for 100 coins apiece. But of course, the interesting thing here is Natsuki Subaru. You can get as many copies as you want for him, just 100 pieces a pop. And again, remember, he does have 5 forms, so if you want to get each individual Max Lux separately, it is a free upgrade to evolve him, so you don't have to spend any items. But if that's a pain in the butt for you, you just want to have 5 Max Lux, pick it up here. It's only 100 points a piece, and there's no limit, so do not forget about that. But of course, you have alternate voice sets, you have titles, you've got the items. Again, the locks are based on the number of times you discover and defeat the white whale, so those are just important things to keep track of for the Collab. And that looks like it's it for my slides. So again, the collab is going to be, at least the gacha is going to be live until the 19th, so I've got 2 more weeks of this. No need to go too crazy, but on the other hand, there's actually a lot of things to do, right? You got to make sure you're on top of the concentration. You got to make sure you maximize out your rewards for Puck, the guardian beast, right? Like, even if you don't intend to use it, you don't want to lose out on all of those shards, because remember, you always work on a deficit. You can never get enough for that one monster by itself. You have to pick and choose from the general pool of available guardian beasts to maximize them to level 10. Anyways, after this video, I'm going to do some gotching, so you can get that ready for that tomorrow. But if you have any questions, please let me know. There is a lot of stuff there, I know, that I went through, and I know like the concentration stuff can be confusing. The raid whaling stuff is different, so I'll try to help. And yeah, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye.